Yo, YouTube, what's going on, y'all? Kai here checking in with another video. Hey, today on the channel, today we got YBC, the most hated gang in Philly. This right here is part one. Let's go on and get into it.
Really reach the highest limit. We're gonna keep going up and up. Keep working, y'all. Don't worry about.
Hey, what'd he say?
I'm proud of you. Listen, I ain't gonna lie. FS just dropped this tape. Y'all dropped Us Against the World. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I'm proud of y'all, bro. Keep working. We're gonna really reach the highest limit. We're gonna keep going up and up. Keep working, y'all. Don't worry about all the other bullshit. Don't worry about all the other bullshit that's going on. Just keep working, bro. We gonna get rich, alright? I'm proud of y'all, especially you, big dog.
Y'all already know y'all got a billboard.
Big dog, proud of you, big dog.
YBC, 4-2, gang.
Everybody's made it home.
For you. YBC with them youngins about chicken. I'm chasing, got finished the mission. He tried to spin his block, we on his top. You know we on us break. We got stuck up at the light, you should've played them hallways.
The chaser started chasing and he started getting back. They wanna know the best strain, roll the best pack. They start blicking on the vid and one mirror and track.
Ops capping and they rap, they know I ain't get shot. Niggas talking about this video, I ain't never ran, that was me with the glasses on, banging with two hands. I like sipping on wop, I keep spinning that block looking for y'all. Ain't nobody out there, I'm hot. When Gorilla Joe died, all they did was drop a disc.
Left dead on the scene, cause he was dissing for some string.
If Rizzy never crossed the street, they probably never tapped his head. I don't even want the chain when I catch him, I want his dress.
How accurate are these documentaries on YouTube?
Them Johns false, bro. They not accurate, bro. They don't know what they be talking about, bro. They just be on some, I don't know. They making money off false stories on YouTube.
So out of 1 through 10, what would you say? How much they're on point?
I don't know, bro. They be saying some shit though, but they be saying some shit though. I ain't gonna lie, I'm Kevin. but that shit like, bro, they just be making up shit though, bro. They be making up shit, bro.
Hey, wait, before we get into this video, I seen P&B. So they linked up with P&B? Like they from the same area?
2019 saw 353 homicides in the city of Philadelphia. It was high, but in line with the 250 to 350 murders we've seen every year since 2007. Then, in 2020,
like that's low-key scary, bro.
the murders skyrocketed to 499.
And that's even more scarier. Y'all gotta realize how small Philly is. Like, bro, it's not a big ass place. Like, it's not a big ass area. So it's like for all this stuff to be happening, I didn't realize how small it is, bro. Like, it could be anybody just walking out of their door. Like,
in that year, then 562 murders in 2021.
And that's even more scarier. It's just going up, like, bro. Like, they just trying to do out what they did previously. Like, that's insane.
And 516 in 2022. What happened? A lot of people will tell you it's drill rap.
Yeah.
2020, the year in particular, saw a rise in quote-unquote drill rap, where a specific name.
That's what it is. That's most definitely what it is. The drill rap, the drill artist. It's the antagonization. Oh, you said this? You antagonizing us? Woo, woo. Watch what we do. We gonna come through. You know what I mean? Do what we need to do. Y'all gonna make our song. Okay, y'all gonna feel some type of way. It's like a back and forth. Like it's like kids, man. It's like real live babies. It's like me talking to my 6-year-old son. Like, son, don't do this. And he turn around and do it. It's like people don't know how to think, man. People not thinking. It's just always people that's going off impulse. All reaction.
Of dead members were being said on tracks. Specific murders were being talked about. Back when I was coming up, people rapped about murders, but it was extremely rare to hear a rapper mention the ops.
Nah, people weren't rapping about no people want blitz. You ain't never hear nobody say, "Oh, these other guys did something to me." Or we the set of guys that did something. You ain't never hear that. I want to say 20. Cheeky came out 2012. You ain't hear Future and them about 2010. Future and them came out 2029. I mean 2008 to 2010. You ain't hear Future rap about no stuff like that. Like, bro, that wasn't the wave, bro. You ain't never hear no. Before it went to drill rap, it was like hustle rap, like count up rap, like Scooter, Future, Gucci, Jeezy, like it was trap rap, like the trap. You ain't never hear none of them talk about, yeah, we spending on the block, we out here. All you heard niggas was saying money, 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 money. That's all you heard. Get fly, get money. You know, get fly, get money. F girls, stuff like that. Like, but you ain't never hear no. Nah.
Name in a song.
They got it crazy nowadays.
People mention their fallen friends all the time, but dissing the dead was unheard of. We all know what it is, and I don't have to explain it here. Names like Poundside Pop, Leaf Ward, Lil Bucks, and One Mirror, OT7 Kwani, Hood Tally, Boodalope, D4M Sloan and Skiano, Hood Famous J, all began to pop around the same time. And here we were faced with this new style of rap that was starting to get popular among the youth. Leaf Ward in particular was making a name for himself with gritty lyrics filled with pain and anger.
And you know the crazy part thing about Leaf Ward is like his style changed so much over the years. He like one of the original new school rappers. Like I remember it was like Uzi. This was like this early like the whole like Uzi wave. Like this was years ago. Like he was making like actual songs. Like it wasn't like directed at nobody. Like now it's like super insane like how his style just changed. Like it was still lyrical, like he was still making lyrical music, but it's like now he addressing things, like now he putting addresses on it. Like it's crazy. But nah, he was one of the originals. I remember it's Uzi, I remember it's him. Like who else was it? It was somebody else. Who else was it, bruh? Who else was it? A Spitter. Damn, I forgot the other nigga. Let me know in the comment section. It was around the time with Uzi, Leaf Ward had just came out. It was around that time, bruh.
At his ops, at his city, at his self. All are displayed in the music. But one thing every person I mentioned earlier has in common is they are all involved in beef and drama. They all use their songs to taunt the ops and diss the dead. Leaf Ward's crew, 31st and Tasker, was involved in 2 state indictments, one in 2019 and one in 2021. District Attorney Larry Krasner has mentioned several gangs that he says is on his radar. All of this is intertwined somehow, and everyone is sucked into this false street life that promises loyalty and respect. But in the end, all you get is death and jail, drugs and pain. My young brothers have been lied to and led astray, but are convinced it's the only way. But if you look at the homicide numbers, and if you come to the conclusion that drill rap is the main culprit, you are missing or intentionally ignoring context. YBC is a group in West Philadelphia that has been involved in a violent, brutal, and bloody war that has had residents terrified. Their main rapper, YBC Duel, has taken drill music and used it as the main way to antagonize his ops. He's taken going federal to a whole nother level. He's given it a new meaning. Every single person I'm going to talk about in this video has been mentioned by a rapper online. In this documentary, we will look at 13 lives lost in the last 3 to 4 years due to YBC and his beef with the surrounding blocks. We're also going to see how we got here and how it started. A man between the ages of 23 and 25 years old wearing blue shorts and a white tank top parked a gold Dodge Ram pickup on the corner of 42nd Street and Mantua Avenue in West Philadelphia, just around the corner from YBC Josh, or Joshua Munson. Police say the man exited the truck and jogged to Wyalusing Avenue, where they say the man ran back to the truck immediately following the shooting and drove westbound on Mantua Avenue. Joshua Munson was shot on that Wednesday afternoon, May 29, 2019, at 1:40 p.m. Philadelphia police officers responded to the 4200 block of Wyalusing Avenue and found Joshua on the sidewalk, suffering from several gunshot wounds. Police transported Joshua to Penn Presbyterian Medical Center, where he was placed in critical condition. He will hold on for 2 days, but unfortunately, Joshua died from his injuries on May 31st, 2019.
Over probably nothing.
Josh lived near 42nd and Mantua Ave in West Philly, right where he was killed. Like many sets in Philly, YBC, or Josh World, was formed after the death of a young man, in this case, Josh.
So all they doing is standing on business.
YBC started as friends that went to school together and lived in the same neighborhood. YBC members mostly come from 42nd and 43rd Streets in Mantua. They would get in fights and always stick up for each other. Spilling blood and sweat with your friends creates a closer bond.
Yeah, so what it sounds like they just standing on business, like they keeping his name alive. You know what I mean? That's what they sound like. Like when he said how he broke it down, like it sound like they standing on business. Like, hey, y'all playing on homie name? Shit. There's repercussions behind that.
That bond is made even closer when one of those friends is killed and someone from the crew is willing to seek revenge. Once a murder happens, you and the guys are tied in by blood for real, and that makes the bond even stronger. That's how most sets, blocks, or gangs are formed. I don't care what people call them, they're describing the same concept. It can't be overstated how dumb and misleading the streets are. Everything I'm about to break down in this story was avoidable.
That's very true, bro. And if y'all don't see it, bro, because I know a lot of these kids is like young, bro. It's over with. The streets is a myth, bro. I keep trying to tell y'all, bro. It's really a camera on every corner, bro. As soon as y'all walk out y'all door, it's cameras looking at y'all, bro. So whatever y'all do, it's caught on camera, some way, shape, or form. And it's like the fact that y'all just going off impulse. Oh, these niggas just played. Watch what I do, and then you go with your move. Then you run back home. It's not like y'all don't got bread stacked up. Like y'all going back to the same place that y'all left. Like it's like no critical thinking. It's like, alright, what are y'all doing? Like the way niggas get caught, bro. The niggas get caught off the most basic stuff. Like y'all going back to the same area. So nigga just, hey, you did this at this time. And we seen you when you came out at 9 o'clock. By 1 o'clock, you ran back in the house. Come on, bro. Like they see everything, bro. They see everything, man. And like I said, it's just people. It's just these kids going off impulse. Like not even just kids, like just men in general, just going off impulse. Like, oh, I feel like they played me, so now I gotta go on my move. Like, nah, bro. If it ain't over your children, or like somebody in your family, like a woman, or even it could be like a man that you know that ain't built like that, bro. It ain't no reason to crash out, bro. Ain't no reason to crash out, bro, because dude been in jail for a life sentence or 50 years, 40 years, 30 years. That's a life sentence, bro. Even if you do 20 years off a 30-year sentence, bro, that's, you know what you could have been doing in that time span, bro? You know how much money you could have made, bro, for your family? You know how many M's you could have ran up? And you did? And then you left your family out there to try to figure it out? Like, just think. Like, you just gotta start thinking. Y'all gotta start thinking. Like, bruh, is it worth it? Is it worth what you doing right now and your freedom? Or you'll rub it in their face by running up real bands, like running up some real money.
None of it had to happen. But once one person is killed, oftentimes in the hood, it's always street justice that follows. Relying on the cops to carry out America's justice doesn't work on the streets. They want blood and revenge. And that's how these oftentimes small conflicts explode into years-long gang wars that span years and see countless people die and go to jail. This is one of the more exaggerated examples because of how many people were killed and arrested and how public the rappers made all of the drama, all in the span of the last 4 years. "2020 is when YBC really started to formalize themselves as a sect. The rappers, J100 and Lil Dre, held it down for the guys on the rapping tip. Others did the shooting and the street side. A 19-year-old man named Nafiq Hawkins, or Buddy, from Callow Hill near 62nd and Vine, was fatally shot on a crowded basketball court on a Monday afternoon in March of 2020 in the Mantua section of West Philly. At about 5:10 p.m., the man was shot several times in the torso and legs on a court at 39th and Olive Playground next to the 700 block of Union Street, said Chief Inspector Scott Small. Police, responding to the scene, transported him to Penn Presbyterian Medical Center, where he was pronounced dead at 5:22. Small said at least 13 spent shell casings were found on the court next to the body. There were about 30 people still on and around the court when police arrived, but no one could or would provide a description of the one or more shooters, Small said. The attack happened during what appeared to be a pickup game, but it was unclear whether Buddy had been playing or was a spectator.
Pickup game? A pickup game? You know the sad part about just like all this like black on black crime, no matter where it's at, bro? You don't never hear these stories about no white people, bro. It's like, bro, it's just something built in our system to where we just gotta just do the fucking most. Like, once we feel played, we don't know how to handle shit. Like, we go to the fucking extreme. Like, you never hear white people like, oh man, I'm gonna do this to you. Like, you don't never hear that shit, bro. Like, they live comfortable amongst each other. They don't gotta look over their back. You don't never hear no white people say, hey, man, I go outside and look over my back. Because I'm sure that a white person, another person that look like me, they're gonna do something like, bro, you'll never hear that shit, bro. What the fuck is wrong with us? Like, what's wrong with us? Like, it's like the older you get, you start to understand life. You understand, like, bro, like, something is severely wrong. Like,
Police checked nearby surveillance cameras for video evidence. No arrests were made. Buddy is one of the most heavily dissed people by YBC.
I just sold a pound of the Buddy in foreplay. I've been smoking Buddy out the pound all damn day. Niggas camping on the mott, them niggas scared. On the rooftop, tell them get back for they foot soldier. Buddy got cooked, they hit him up with all boulders. Start rolling Buddy out the sack. He hit hard, he tryna fight. I'm smoking Buddy out the motherfucking pound, he hit right. Niggas know we cranked up, we cracking niggas' head. Me ain't lucky here, a lot, the Lord niggas should be dead. Please don't disrespect us, cause we got the city scared. Bro say he gon' so, little Buddy hit hard, that shit right for my health. Little Buddy hit hard, that shit right for my health.
That's wild, bruh. I know he not aiming at his man, but bro, you real life got a gun beside your man. Like, you're behind this nigga, bro. Holmes. One wrong move, bro. One wrong move, bro. Like,
What exactly the beef was between Butt and YBC is not known at this time, but what I do know is that added another block that YBC now has beef with.
Every day proof your car with Armor All stain repelling technology. Less work, more clean.
Two members of YBC orchestrated a violent incident during a cookout held at the park on 38th and Poplar Streets. While people gathered at the small park, shots rang out, turning a joyful day into a scene of chaos. The bullets found their targets, causing devastating injuries. Sid, a beloved member of the community, was struck in the back, his life hung by a thread. But he would survive this time. An older guy, whose name I'm going to withhold, a respected elder on 39th Street, witnessed the horrific event unfold. To his dismay, he realized that he knew the person responsible for the bloodshed. Old Head had known the shooters from YBC, one in particular since he was a child, having watched him grow up right on their block where he relocated across the bridge to 42nd Street. The shooter approached the Old Head and assured him that the attack was not meant for him or his family. This revelation left OG torn. While he had a history with the shooter and cared for him, the rest of the 39th Street residents were outraged. The block, including the Old Head himself, distanced themselves from the shooter for a while, struggling to reconcile the conflicting emotions. However, over time, they gradually accepted the Old Head's decision to maintain some level of friendship with the shooter, despite the despicable act he committed. Meanwhile, the shooter, seemingly unburdened by his actions and driven by a young boy mentality, brazenly took a picture a few weeks after the park shooting on 39th Street. It was a perfect display of his lack of remorse. As tensions continued to escalate, Sid and another guy from 39th Street exacted their own form of justice. Sid claimed responsibility for delivering the final shots to a wounded individual known as BL or Skill in September of 2020. Police say 21-year-old BL from 43rd Street was shot multiple times in the head and killed in Philadelphia's Belmont neighborhood. It happened on the 900 block of Belmont Avenue around 9:30 p.m. BL was apparently on a bike when the shooters hopped out of the car.
hey, you know the crazy part about this shit is, like, bro, niggas want to be so rebellious, right? Like, so this is what our ancestors passed away on. Our ancestors passed away for niggas to not even strive to be great. Like, our ancestors really, like, bro, we real life was in a situation where we ain't have the advantage that y'all have, that we have right now. Like, y'all making money from technology. We don't even know what the fuck technology was, bruh. We couldn't read, we couldn't write. We ain't have no type of opportunity in front of us. We were slaves. If we tried to learn or we tried to get ahead, we were killed, we were lynched, we was chased down and killed. For y'all to get this opportunity. And the sad part about this whole thing is, bro, y'all killing over blocks that y'all don't even have y'all don't even pay a mortgage on. Like,
Police say the victim, BL, was shot multiple times in the head and was pronounced dead at the scene. Investigators say the gunman fired 15 shots at the victim near his house.
At a nigga house.
Cause it blows all them dead options out. I don't think it's no Reggie. When I lined up, remember he was talking so heavy. Mixing Kira and Narilla with the BL and the BK. Put that one nigga loafing so many times we give him leeway. How the fuck he die when his dead friend be there? If I see a op, you know I'm aiming where his head at. On the mind is so high, I'll be like where the feds at. He text me, said I'm not on my block, I just read that. I don't smoke that's like Xing with a red jack. Shout out my dog, Big 39, stand doing business. This and Q Raw, he making the bad decision. Remember when the bros died, it was jokes, laughter. His folks died, I ain't see him make a post after. Little boy thought he had a shot, it was a no dagger. 3 bins on a go fund, I guess he don't matter. He the guy, they done fell in love with sliding.
Sid decided to lay low in Utah for about a month. He had relatives in the area, providing him with a safe haven.
Damn, this nigga went all the way to Utah.
However, upon his return to Philadelphia, Sid's freedom was short-lived as he found himself behind bars. Curry, who we'll be talking about later, and Lil Moo were very good friends growing up. They both stood by 42nd and 43rd Street as the beef with 38th and 39th Street was splitting up the neighborhood. Sid, still feeling like he had beef with YBC, kept going hard for 39th Street. Lil Moo ended up getting shot in his leg by Sid. Sid was becoming a problem for YBC. Sid, or Big 39, had a very close relationship with the Mont. The Mont is another group of guys who come from 44th and 45th, right next to Belmont Avenue. They had a close relationship with Sid, and 39th Street and the Mont will become alliances because of this beef. As the story unfolded, the sense of danger and intrigue grew. The once tight-knit community found itself fractured by violence and complicated loyalties. What will become an old head in his association with the shooter? How would Sid and 39th Street battles impact the future of YBC? Only time will reveal the answers as the gritty world they inhabited continued to spin its dark web of secrets and treachery.
Let's go to part 2. Let's go to part 2.
I'm an excellent source of magnesium.
To help support immunity.
Eat almonds, live well, repeat.
Slices this big should come with instructions. Vote here. Big New Yorker from Pizza Hut.
The gang coming, man.
Back out here, man. She better back out here. Love Dre.
I'm saying, yo,
We got Cod,
gang
T-Time, G100 everywhere. Y'all cut, see, cut. Yeah, coming good. Gang, man. Free Rara, free Zombie.
Yeah, free Vaughn, too. Free
Nine.
They so free Joe. Free Sheen, free Ra.
Free Wanye, man.
I'm saying, free Nana. Free Nana.
Free the whole gang.
Free the army. LC, do man.
Free the army.
I'm saying.
Recipes to other fallen shoes, RPCJ, man.
Let's take it back to when dude copped out, said approached him with 2 strands. Said Hayne in the beef, he was never a part of that. Pearl never saved him, he would've been bro second pack.
For 7 days of the week, I can smoke a different day.
Yo,
you know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
8 days, I'm gonna go back on
That's
Sunday.
crazy.
When the 7 days over, the next Monday, I'm gonna smoke another name, the 8th one. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's crazy.
If we don't talk about innocent victims, we don't talk about, we don't count other bodies. There's other bodies too. We only talk about the war.
That's man time. That's man time. Like, you don't get nobody else involved. You know, innocent bystanders, they don't speak on that, but none of this stuff should be happening, bro. Like,
YBC, a Young Bag Chasers, was created in 2017 in West Philly. When they first started, it was mainly just J100, Heem, Duel, Lil Dre, Lil Trey, Baby Kai, Ra, Zombie, Nah, Vine, Josh, and Joe, among many others.
man, how you know all this? You my guy.
They rapped and got money trapping, living up to their name, which was to chase a bag. Zombie and Eve Stacks, both YBC members, are brothers. They went to Mastery Charter with Josh, who we spoke about briefly in part 1. YBC Duel and Die Fetty are cousins. Along with J100, they were the Get Money part of the team. As we spoke on the events of 2019 and 2020, 2021 was going to be YBC's reign of terror on the city of Philadelphia. They had taken credit for at least 8 murders and 1 kid being shot from January 2021 to September, when 30, or Curry, was...
Damn. He said from January to September 8.
arrested at the scene of a murder. Numerous other shootings and fights where no one had life-changing injuries occurred also as a result of this beef. After Sid was shot throughout 2020, he would continue to give YBC trouble. He was involved in the killing of Skill, as we said earlier, and he was known to shoot at or beat up YBC members whenever he would see them.
We them chasers, free to man, look free to go. Folks got booked with 2 B's, free to bro. They hit Q Rizzy with that Swizzy. Bitch, meet you, bro. Hit Q Rizzy with that Swizzy. Go meet you, bro. That nigga lagging with his pants down, loafing with his dick out. These chasers chasing nigga down, showing with this stick.
In January of 2021, police released surveillance images of 2 men wanted for murdering a 15-year-old boy in West Philly. Video shows Jaquan Williams, a Q Raw, walking in the area of 40th and Cambridge Streets when he was struck in the head by gunfire from 2 suspects. Q Raw was loved by 39th Street and the Mont. YBC/YFA would go on to claim this wreck and disrespect the deceased 15-year-old Moore by mentioning him by the wrong name and calling him Q Rizzy instead of Q Raw, and saying they were smoking on Q Rizzy.
We gon' blame the troll on for the passing of the dead, bitch, watch him out. We them youngers that hop out and stand on beds. Get that drop cause he was thinking with his dick, that's what it is. We get over, know they mad cause what's the name got put to bed.
They shot Q Rizzy from a block away and still pop his punk. That boy green. Bro keep rolling dead, ops he tryna stop the punt. Pro Rizzy trolley in the air, that shit be numbing us. If Rizzy never crossed the street, they probably never tapped his head.
Sam Adams Summer Ale, light with a hint of real citrus.
Okay, that's what that bar coming at.
Up until this point, we haven't talked about YFA. YFA, led by F5, was a group of straight crash outs. People like F5, Reek 1200, FS the Bender, Baby Wick, Kier, Eam Stacks, and 30 all claimed YFA. If you pay real close attention to Reek and F5, they only diss certain dead people. There is a distinction between YBC and YFA, but not much of a difference. So to keep it simple, I just call everyone involved with YBC and YFA, YBC. Mind you, F5, Reek, Baby 1K, Baby Wick, and 30 are all down, facing bodies at the moment. This really was a gang of crash outs, as I said before. In fact, there's a rumor that in order to join YFA, F5 said you had to catch a body. This would explain why the young boys were so bloodthirsty before they all crashed out.
Sniper runner, hold up, wait, I got him, let me chase him down. He ain't see it coming, then he twitching on that ground. Switchy, we got 30s, we got 50s, we got pound. Little bro in love with it, so he like ties down. You ain't got a body, you can't roll with us.
At this point in the story, we talked about YBC, the Mont, and 38th Street, and the deaths of Josh, Bud, and BL. We talked about Sid getting shot at the playground and how he claimed he had parts in the killing of BL. Sid, as I mentioned before, was a beloved member at 39th Street. He had ties to the Mont. After Q Raw was killed, it really started to get ugly. 2021 would be a wild year for YBC. 2021.
So I guess these parts is going by years, I guess.
and 2022 would be wild years for YBC, as the name recognition would skyrocket as they dissed more and more and got more and more disrespectful. YBC Duel, F5, Reek 1200, and of course J100 were carrying it for YBC as far as the music went, basically all of 2021 and 2022. YBC would systematically hunt for Sid almost weekly. They really want to get back for BL. Sid ended up getting arrested around the fall of 2020. In March of 2021, YBC thought they had their target locked in. A CO up at State Road gave YBC false intel, as they said Sid would be getting released on Thursday, March 18th, 2021. At around 12 in the morning, Rodney Hargrove Sr. got a call from his son saying he was released and ready to be picked up. 20-year-old Rodney Hargrove Jr. was driven by prison staff from the complex to across the street, a designated drop-off point. YBC and their faulty intel went up to the complex and shot Hargrove, mistaking him for Sid. The news of the innocent man, Hargrove, being killed only made YBC's hunt for Sid stronger, but of course, they would have to wait for Sid to be released. Eventually, Sid was granted house arrest in April, and YBC wasted no time getting with him. As in May of 2021, they chased him down the street, shooting at him, and ended up striking his 6-year-old sister. His parents would take Sid and the family and move all the way across the city to Port Richmond. However, YBC refused to relent, continually attempting to discover his location or setting him up for another attack.
Becoming an all too familiar trend. This is Eyewitness News at 6, and we are streaming live on CBS in Philly. Hello, everyone. I'm Yuki Washington.
And I'm Jessica Cartalia. A 6-year-old girl is hospitalized after being shot in West Philadelphia. It happened this afternoon on Wyalusing Avenue, and we're told the girl was outside playing with her friends when a group of men ran up and opened fire. She was shot in her leg. The girl's parents were in a car which was also hit by bullets.
It's disgusting yet again that I'm here speaking to you about a 6-year-old getting shot, but what's also very striking to me is that the 6-year-old had the wherewithal to tell her parents that she had been shot. How does a 6-year-old know what getting shot is like? How does a 6-year-old know what bullets sound like, or what, gunfire sounds like? And how does she know, or how does he or she know what a bullet wound looks like?
That's insane.
The 16-year-old boy shot near a Southwest Philadelphia basketball court that Thursday night in May of 2021 was a high school senior just weeks away from graduation. A standout basketball player and something of a role model for younger teens in the neighborhood. That's how several people remembered Kwame Mitchell after he was killed and a 13-year-old boy was wounded in a burst of gunfire near the Derridus playground, a crime that police said remained something of a mystery in the early stages of the investigation. Q5, despite his age and ambiguous involvement in this beef, wasn't spared being dissed in his death.
Sherwood wish they could get their favorite athlete back. We done bet the whole fucking West, we looking for the ops. Q5 or K3 can't make no more jump shots.
Hey, this nigga dude, bro. Hey, no, this nigga dude, bro.
Probably tell by now, YBC and their ops don't care about the safety of anyone, whether they are involved or not. It's one thing to say I signed up for the streets.
That's what I'm saying, bro, you gotta chill, bro, you gotta chill, bro, cause that ain't mad time, bro. You can't just hit innocent motherfuckers, bro. That's not, you don't get points for that. It's not honorable, bro. No real gangster gonna say, bro, that's honorable, bro. Like, you did that motherfucker. Like, that's not honorable.
And know what comes with it. It's already bad enough that they're killing each other. But to now involve seemingly innocent people is sickening. I give a lot more of my opinion on my other channel, so I'm just gonna try and keep the commentary to a minimum here. To be completely honest, I don't know who was responsible for Q5's murder. But YBC dissed him a lot after they found out his relationship with Caitlyn Johnson, or KJ, who we will speak about in a little bit. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps the channel more than you know. While the war between YBC and 39th Street and Lamont was raging, the young boy Lil Mir from 64th Street was shot and killed in March of 2021. Some 39th Street members were cool with Lil Mir, so that's how and why O to the 4, Lil Bucks, and YBC started beefing. This continued with shots back and forth on social media and O to the 4 members shooting at YBC on 3 separate incidents in 2021. Even though YBC didn't kill Lil Mir, they still dissed him in songs, and the beef was on and popping.
You keep hiding in them tents, you little camp. Here, baby, give his little ass a wedgie, he need a pamp. Oh shit, they still ain't get back for Lil Mirror, he caught a neck shot.
Someone runs for safety, while the calls for help echo in the background.
If Burger was alive, I would've made that little bitch fuck the block that.
Look, all we know is squeeze neck shots, make a nigga bleed, make a nigga can't wait.
The family of 18-year-old Nasir Marks says they were looking forward to watching him walk at his high school graduation at the Dell Music Center in Fairmount Park in a matter of weeks at the time. But with him now gone, his family won't get to do that. Nasir's family had been preparing for a graduation party, but the 18-year-old was shot multiple times on the 3900 block of Poplar Street in West Philadelphia at around 7:30, May 25th, 2021, and later died. His family was making his graduation shirts when they got the phone call. Nasir was a senior at Overbrook High School. He was also set to attend Kutztown University. A half hour later, just before 8 p.m., YBC killed a 15-year-old boy on the 2500 block of Sydenham Street in North Philadelphia. Based on ballistic evidence, we know at least 32 shots were fired from 2 separate caliber semi-automatic weapons, Philadelphia Police Chief Inspector Scott Small said. The victim was identified as 15-year-old Kanye Pittman. He was a freshman at Benjamin Franklin High School. He was shot multiple times. He was shot in the head, the neck, the chest, the torso, and the arm. He was unresponsive and he was bleeding heavily. Due to the fact that this 15-year-old was hit so many times, at least 5 times by gunfire, and the fact that he's the only victim, we believe he may be the intended target, Small said. Kanye Pittman, another kid, was caught up in this beef somehow. YBC will go on to diss him heavily, giving him the disrespectful name of Young Boy from the Back Block. Reek was so proud of himself about the fact that he killed 2 people in one day, he had to bring it up in the song.
Don't get it twisted, bitch, I still pop right out that cut, he out of luck. Caught his ass up on that side, he should've ducked. We spin back to back, bodies in one day, they know what's up, we get it done. Get that drop and drop his ass, this shit for fun, let's end.
It's definitely a tragedy anytime someone is shot and killed in the city, but in this particular evening, we've had an 18-year-old and a 15-year-old killed within a half-hour time frame. Clearly 2 separate shootings.
That's the thing about YBC. I was able to make this whole documentary based off their own lyrics. Of course, I had to do a lot of research to find out who these people are, but YBC's own lyrics gave me a starting point. There's no positive outcome in getting involved with beef like this. Once you've disrespected someone's dead friend or relative on video and put it out as art or music, I think by now, people know what comes behind that. That's why I say, dissing the dead, you might as well put a big sign on your head saying, "Come kill me." That's essentially what you're doing when you diss the dead. To be fair to the 15 and 16-year-olds caught up in this, a lot of the time, it's peer pressure that would put a kid in this kind of deadly situation in the first place. The older ones, like J100 and YBC Duel, are the main culprits and blamed in this particular situation.
And you know the sad thing about that is like bro just said, like you'll be saying something about somebody, and then you'll be looking for like the main culprits, like the people that you beefing with. Whole T, like Shorty said, like they got family members that you don't even know. Like they got people that you don't even know, like you never seen before, and them niggas is really standing on business, like. So that's why you gotta just be careful. Like that's a scary ass game that y'all be playing. Like y'all be thinking, oh man, woo woo. Not even just talking. I'm talking about anybody. Like whenever you do shit like that, you put it online. You're not just antagonizing they hood. Like you ain't just worried about they hood. Like they hood ain't the only ones that's hearing this shit. Like these niggas got cousins that's from somewhere. They got brothers and. You feel me? Like, that's a scary ass game because you don't know where it's going to come from. You could just be walking down the street. People know you. They know you because of the words that you put out there. They know you because of the videos that you put out there. You don't know them. Just be careful.
Just a few weeks before he died, KJ Johnson got his driver's license. His mom wanted to congratulate him on his great grades so far in high school, his accomplishments on the basketball and football court, and just being an all-around standout young man. On the fatal day of his death, he picked up a couple of friends, including his day one homie, Tommy Frazier, or Snipe, and headed to play basketball on a Wednesday, a sunny afternoon in West Philly. It was July 21st, 2021. Kalen Jihad Johnson was heading into his junior years at Boys Latin Charter School in West Philadelphia, while Frazier had enrolled at Simon Gratz High School in November. 2 0 to the 4 members were also in the car on the day of the shooting, with one of them getting hit. Snipe was from 56th Street, the same block Young Liv claims. Apparently, a phone call by YBC to 56th Street members was made to try and squash this before it turned uglier than it already was. But those attempts at a truce were ignored. Young Liv and Lil Bucks were tied in now. Bucks and Livy really didn't like each other at first. They were two hothead rappers from West Philly who both had a buzz and who both led their respective camps. Now things would really start to get crazy for YBC, as now, along with 39th Street and 44th and 45th Streets, the Mott, now they had beef with a lot more people, more ways to get set up, backdoored, or caught with your head down. 0 to the 4 and 56th Street were as serious a threat as they were going to face at this point in time. They were just as relentless and had their own group of crash dummies. The campers, 0 to the 4, and the clappers, 56th Street, would click up with the other clappers from 7th Street down in South Philly, and they would be known as CCK.
I just took 3 different fights, bro.
He said there was 4 different niggas in that wood. He said 2 of them died in 2.
You got stuck up at the light, you should've played them hallways. We just caught another Vic, don't ask me how I do it.
Wait till I catch Livy. Look, big shots from the glizzy, spinny, make that nigga dizzy. I'ma shoot it till it's empty.
Oh, you know it's hot about that Johnny catch a body. You try snipe, when you could go up, then me time me. How about that dad like that Millie drop ball on his body?
And I'm smoking on the ops. Y'all knew y'all was getting followed. Why the fuck y'all niggas stop? They scored on K3, they hit him for the shot clock. This broke ass died, drinking lean, he wasn't even sipping wine. 12 really on the run, the law ran inside my spot. The dumb
Knock, knock, they coming out that cutting shit was by surprise. We the pace the race and shit, they know this what we do. We ain't see it, fuck the nigga knew. We ain't see it coming, bring your head back in two.
Oh, 3 was at the light, he ain't go.
I don't even want the chain when I catch him, I want his dreads. I want Snipe, smoking Snipe, dog rolling buddy out the set. Smoking little Snake, he got me higher than a motherfucking kite. I thought you niggas knew better than I get caught up at the light.
That bit flexing, proceed with caution if you step in my direction. You hung with the campers, so we had to send a message. Threw a pass at us and we had to intercept.
Hit that cut and wet it up and spray it like Febreze. He ain't even see me coming and they screaming out breathe. Sniper runner, hold up, wait, I got him, let me chase him down. He ain't see it coming, they twitching on that.
39th Street is also clicked up with 44th Street due to the young boy Q Raw being shot and killed by a YBC member a few months before KJ and Snipe were shot. Also, the connection with Sid I mentioned earlier. So you now have all these click-ups between these blocks going back and forth. Speaking of Sid, YBC will finally catch up to him in September of 2020.
He's showing us some out. So first we just had Josh World YBC up here. We had Demont that was close by. We ain't hear about Orden. We ain't hear about them yet. 46th Street. GG. Over here we got 39th.
Speaking of Sid, YBC would finally catch up to him in September of 2021 when 30 was arrested on the scene after shooting and killing Sid. Sid was in the house on house arrest when YBC got the drop on where he lived.
We heard about this one.
30 would sneak up on his porch with another shooter and unload into the front door, killing Sid. His father was also shot, but luckily he survived.
Yeah, we heard about this.
As 30 and either F5 or YBC Kier, one of the two, ran away, the cops appeared and 30 started firing at the cops. All of the shots missed. 30 was arrested at the scene. He was found lying under a car. The Sessoms family, another family, was left to pick up the pieces from this war that is traumatizing from the city.
They wanna know the best strain, bro, the best pain. Mooski in the back screen froze. I just sold a pound of the fro off one plate.
We ain't giving out warning, we just sending shots. He was a good boy, we had the niggas chest hot. Water mine campus and they been through our block. Furiously, he was walking away, ain't had to get a drop.
The Sessoms family, another family, was left to pick up the pieces from this war that is traumatizing the city and showing the ugly forces of the criminal underworld. Old head from part 1 and Sid's original shooter never recovered after this. At this point in the story, 39th Street and YBC were officially sworn enemies. Demont and YBC were officially sworn enemies. 56th Street, along with 02 to 4 and YBC, were officially sworn enemies. And there are other beefs YBC is involved in that we didn't touch on in this story, like their beef with 59th Street over Bud, or their click up with P&B, which we'll touch on in the next part. When you click up with another set from across town, whether it's to swap guns, to get reinforcements for your shooters, or to get money together, you inherit each other's already established beef. And P&B already had their own situation uptown with Westside Mafia and NLB and others. We will get into all of that in part 3, as well as the 16 people YBC lost to death or jail in 2022 and 2023. All of that in part 3. At this point in the story, September of 2021, as far as YBC was concerned, they are up on all their ops. 2021 saw them drop 7 people from their ops, 1 innocent by mistake, and 1 op's little sister got shot. That's just what I could fit into this video. I never got to mention Rel, Hattie, and Benji getting shot. We didn't mention Duel and One Mayor and both their camps getting into a huge brawl at the Wells Fargo Center during Powerhouse. Yeah, YBC is up right now, but 2022 and 2023 would be a whole different story. October of 2021 would be a preview of what's to come for YBC, as Gorilla Joe, or Joe Rilla, a big YBC member, was killed. The circumstances behind his death are unknown to me at this time, but he died in late September or early October of 2021. Part 3 will see the peak of YBC. You know, all the songs you've heard them for, all the dissing, and the other things they are known for besides the killing really starts to take form. But with all the people they killed, it doesn't take a genius to guess what happens next. Not 1, 2, not 3, but 5 YBC members were killed between May of 2022 when BK was killed, and most recently, T.O. getting killed a few months ago. Even on Monday, there was a killing on 52nd and Jefferson related to this beef. Stay tuned for all of that and more in part 3. For now, y'all be safe.
Yeah, that shit crazy, bro. You niggas could have been like, with all this destruction that y'all doing, bro. If y'all put y'all brains to use in another way, bro, y'all could have been real life millionaires, bro. Like, see y'all in the next video. Peace.